Is Daf Yomi is Sanhedrin Daf Kuf Yud Sanhedrin 110. Today's daf is dedicated for Shemir for the Chayalim Matzal for the Shuyim Yeshua for Am Yisrael. And today's daf will begin on the bottom of 109b, 4 lines from the bottom. Part of the rebellion of Korach was Om Ben Peles was listed at the beginning that Korach took with him. Dasan Aviram B'nai Elad and Om Ben Peles B'nai Ruvain. But then Om Ben Peles disappears. So where did he go? So Amarav, Om Ben Peles, Ishto Itzilaso, his wife saved him. You have to marry a good wife. Your wife saves you. Amarway, my nafkal, mina. What do you, she said to him, what do you need to get involved in this? Imaraba, on Talmida. If Moshe's your Rebbe, you're a student. Imaraba, on Talmida. If Korach's a Rebbe, you're a student. What do you care who you're serving? What do you need to get involved in this? Amarwa, my Avid. So he said, what could he do? Havai be'aitza. I was part of the party that agreed to it. I was on the board meetings. I signed up. Ishtabili, I took an oath, Badai. I took an oath with them. Amrale, she said to him, Yadana de Kul Kanishta Kadishta. I know these people, even though they're bad people, they're chaste. They are holy with respect to laws of modesty. I know that they respect modesty laws because it says everyone is holy. So Amrale, she said to him, Tuv de anamatzil nocha. I'll save you. Stay here. Ashkite chamra varvise. She fed him wine and she made him drunk. Vagnise gavai. And she put him to sleep on the bed inside the tent. Osval baba. So then he was sitting on the she was sitting by the entrance to the tent. Visatar tulamazia, and she uncovered her hair. Called the Alsa Chazia, whoever came saw her and had her and then went back. In the meantime, Korach and his followers were swallowed up. It's to say, the Korach, the wife of Korach, was the opposite. Amrway, she said to him, Chazi Maikav and Moshe. Look what Moshe is doing. You have a Malka. He made himself king. He made his brother the Kohen Gadol. To his brother's children, Shavinu Segane Tikane. He made them their deputies to the Kohen. If somebody brings Truma, Amar Tiavil Kohen, they'll say, take the Truma for the Kohen. He also Meiser, if they'll take Meiser, if somebody brings Meiser to the Levi, the Shakwisu also, that you take, meaning Korach takes, Amar Avu Chad Miyun Kohen. You have to give Trumas Meiser. You have to give 10% to the Kohen. But the guy is like Mezaichu. Also, he shaved off all your hair. Umetalchu, and he's laughing at you. Kikufta, like you're a joke. And he just like he had his eye on your hair and he's making fun of you. Amar. So he said to her, Korach responds to his wife, Ayunami Kavid. He did the same thing. He shaved his hair also. Amar. So she says no to him. Keeping the cool Rabusa the day, since he's in charge of everyone. Amar Iunami Tamus Nafshim push him. He says, I'll go down with the Philistines. That was the language of Samson, of course, much later. But same idea. I'll kill myself to get more glory. Oh, the Kamralahu. He said to you, she said, "Oh, the Kamralahu, that which he said to you, Avdisu Tchelta." He said, "Make some tcheles." Now, Isal Kadaitach tcheles chashiva mitzvah. If you want to say that tcheles is a very distinguished mitzvah, then apik glime the tchelasa v'kasinu lekulu metiftach. If tcheles is such an important mitzvah, and take out a whole garment of tcheles and cover up your whole yeshiva with it. And I know Dilsiv, that's what it states. Chachmos nashim banta beisa. It says in the verse in Proverbs, the wisdom of women built the house. Zuishto shalom ben pelas. That's the wife of On. The ivelas biyada tarsena, and the foolish woman destroys it with her hand. Zuishto shal Korach. That's Korach's wife. So it all depends on the wife. It says they got up before Moshe, Korach, and his followers was 250 men. These were not just like the lower class. These were the most distinguished people of the community. They knew how to establish the new moon and to establish the months. They knew how to intercalate the years, to make leap years and to establish the months. Anshe Shem, Shayolam Shem Kolam. These were the most distinguished people in the whole world. Vayishma Moshe Vayipol Panav. Moshe already fell on his face. Ma Shmuel Shema. What did he hear? Amar Shmuel Bar Nachmani Amar Yochanan Shechashtu Meishes. She heard that they suspected him of being with married women. Shenemar Vaikanu Moshe B'Machaneh. Vaikanu means that they were jealous, but Amar Shmuel Bar Yitzchak Muhammad should call Echav Echad Kinas Ishtam Moshe. Everybody warned their wife from Moses. They said, "Don't be secluded with Moses." Shenemar Moshe Yikachas Awal V'Nato Mechutz Ma'achaneh. So Moshe took his tent and went outside the camp. Vayakam Moshe Vayelach Dasan V'Aviram. Moshe got up and he approached Dasan and Aviram, and it's Amar Shlakish Mikan Sheim Machzikim Mechachokas. Moshe could have said, "I don't have to go to them. They come to me." See from here that you can't let a dispute last. Amar Rav Kol Machzik B'Machokas over B'Lav. Whoever violates a negative command, whoever keeps an argument going, violates a prohibition that says, Voya Korach Ka'adaso. Don't be like Korach and his followers. This idea that you can't keep an argument going, and if you do, you're in violation of the verse, don't be like Korach and his followers. They say about the Smag. The Smag is Rav Moshe of Kutzi, that he died in around the year, I think, yeah, you can look it up. I think he died in 1260, in 1248 or 1260, I don't know, one of those years. So he listed all the 613 commandments, but he got to 612 and he didn't know what the 613th should be. And that night he had a dream, and the dream was, don't be like Korach and his followers. That means don't be arrogant like Korach. Take care, Benji. So this is an actual prohibition from the Torah that you're not allowed to be like Korach. So that's the dream of the Snag. You won't forget that now. So it says, whoever's like Korach will get Saras, or is appropriate to get Saras. B'yad Moshe. Well, and it says here in this verse that it says B'yad Moshe. Well, Yomer Hashem. Well, Od Haba Na Yadcha B'Chakecha. Od Haveina Yadcha B'Chakecha. So there we see that Moshe had Saras by Sinai, and here also he had Saras. That Korach had Saras. Amar Rabbi Yossi. Who? No, Moshe didn't get Saras. Korach got Saras. Moshe had gotten Saras. But that was by the burning bush. So therefore they compared. Amar Rav Yossi, whoever argues with in the house of David is appropriate to get bit by a snake. It says over there in Deuteronomy, Im Chamas Zochoi Afar. So, whoever argues with their Rebbe, it's like they're arguing with God. Some al Hashem. It says in the pasuk, some al Hashem, but really they were only arguing with Korah, with Moshe. So it's like if you argue with Moshe, you're like arguing with God. Whoever makes a dispute with his Rebbe, like it makes a dispute with the divine presence, it says, Hema me Mariva. Asher Rabbu B'nai Israel as Hashem, but really they were only arguing with Moshe. Amar Chanina Bar Papa, Kol Misraim al Rabbo. So Keilu Misraim al Hashchina. So somebody who says that is basically makes his complaint about his Rebbe, says his Rebbe is treating him too harshly. It's like you're making a complaint against divine presence. It says, "Well, ki al Hashem," as Moshe said. When the Methonim were complaining, he says, you're not complaining against us, you're complaining against God. I'm a Rabbi Avo, call Mahar Acharabo, Kil Mahar Achashlin. Whoever is basically doing rumors or suspecting his Rebbe, it's like you're making accusations against God. It says, Vaydaber Am Be'elokim Uvim Moshe. Now it says, Osher. So it says in the verse in Koheles, it says, I saw something very bad under the heaven, and that's Osher Shamor Ba'alav L'Ra'as. So that means wealth that's guarded by the owner to do bad to him. And Amar Shalkish said Osher Shal Korach. That refers to Korach's wealth. Because he was so wealthy, that caused him to become arrogant. and to sin. V'eskol yakum b'shel b'raglayim was also swallowed up. Amar B'Elazar zememono shel adam shemamido al raglam. This refers to the money of the person which supports him on his feet. Amar Rabbi Levi Masoy Gimel Meos Predos Levanos Ayu Maftechos Shabes Ginze Korach. Korach's mules carried, his white mules were carrying 300 keys to the treasure rooms, meaning to say he had so much wealth that just the keys weigh down 300 donkeys. V'kulu aklide v'kilpe de gilda, and all of these keys were covered up with leather, meaning to say that there were, meaning to say even though that was the case, they needed 300 mules to carry them, meaning to say that they were not so heavy, they were very light, they weren't iron, they were leather. Okay, so now it says Joseph had 3 treasures in Egypt. Achas niskalta Korach. One Korach discovered, that's how he got rich. Achas niskalta Antuni ben Atzvirus. That was the Roman time. Achas genuzo tzadikim was in the future, the righteous will get it. Korach was not swallowed up and he was not burned. It was not with those who were swallowed or those who were burnt. Everybody who was with Korach was swallowed up, below Korach, but not Korach himself. We're on the bottom of 110a. Not all those that were burnt. When the fire ate the 250 men, below Korach, and the Korach was not with them. Nisa Tana, but we have an alternative source in the Bride that Korach Minatrufin, Uminabulian. Korach was amongst the burnt and the swallowed up. Minabuyim d'chsev ativa osam. There's Korach implies that it says in the verse, it says explicitly that the earth swallowed them and Korach. Minasrufim d'chsev eish yatzam eish Hashem v'tochal as chamishim umatayim. They ate the 250 men. Ish v'Korach ba'adayim, and Korach was with them. Amarava mai d'chsev shemesh Yareach Amad Zivua or Chitzecha. What do we do with that verse? So the verse is Shemesh. Wait, let me just see. Okay, so what do we do with that verse? Shemesh Yareach Amad, the moon and the sun were standing. Zivua or Chitzecha. Yalechu. So Mulamich always Shemesh Yareach was Zivul. So what happened was that the sun and the moon, basically, that the sun and the moon, what were they doing? That they were in the heaven, which the name was Zamul. But it tells us that the sun and the moon went up to the heaven that was called Zavul. Ben Amram, and they said, the sun and the moon said to God, if you have to do right by Moshe, who's Ben Amram, Neitzeh, and then we'll go out and do our jobs. And then otherwise it won't go out. So God threw arrows at them. You didn't get upset when they were rebelling against me, when Jewish people sinned with me. But big quote, Basar Vadam, Machitim, but now they get upset at Moshe, you get upset. And so that's why, and now God made a decree that the sun and the moon don't go out into the to illuminate until He first strikes them. That's what Rashi says. Another alternative explanation, Rashi says that they were afraid to go out because they saw that they had upset God, so therefore God had to strike them. That they said, "Oh, we have to give more honor to God." Darish Rava if the God will make a new creation and the earth will open up its mouth. If Gehenna is created good, that'll be perfect for them. Otherwise, God should create it. So what does this mean? what does this mean? If you want to say that God should really now create Gehenim until there didn't exist, you can't have anything new. He says, make the entrance to Gehenim closer. It means they make it right next to Korach so they could swallow him up. He gets direct, easy pass entrance to hell. But it says in the pasuk that the sons of Korach did not die. There was a place, basically a high place in hell, and that's why they didn't die. They got a ledge. They were standing on a ledge. And they stood on it and said Shira. They were singing. And these are all the psalms that say Shir Mizmor of Korach. This is all part of the psalms. That Psalm 48 that we say Shir Mizmor of Korach. Okay. Other Gemara said that they repented, so that's why they didn't die. Now this Gemara we already had in Bab Basra 84. You remember it. So one time I'm walking on the road. So there was an Arab there, and he said, "Come, I'll show you where all those who were swallowed up with Korach are." So then I went and I saw that there were two holes in the ground that smoke was coming out. Shakal kavava da amra amshayamaya. So he took a piece of wool, dipped it in water, and he put it on the top of like a spear, and he put it into the hole, and it got burnt. Amrway. So this Arab said, Atis mashmas. Put your ear close and listen what you're hearing. They're saying the following. Moshe v'saraso emes ve'ein badaim. That Moshe is true, his Torah is true, and they are liars. I'm not sure if you had a question, Bill? He was in Babylon. Well, he was traveling in the wilderness. He also came across Sinai. So that's the Gemara there in 84b in Baba Basra. It says that he also came to Sinai. The Arab said, I'll show you where Sinai is. Amarle called Twas and Yoma Mahadra Lahu Gahanim. He said, this Arab said, every 30 days they are tossed and turned in hell from place to place, just like you flip a piece of meat on a pot, so that they should cook well from each side. And he says, every 30 days they come here as part of their journey. They say Moshe is true, the Torah is true, and they are false. So now up to Dora Midbar Elan Chelkom about the generation of the wilderness has no share in the world to come. In this wilderness they will expire, and there they will die. They'll die in this world, and they will be extinguished in the next world. The Omer, and it states, we say this every Friday night. I took an oath in my wrath that they will not come to my menucha. Divrei Rabbi Akiva. So Rabbi Akiva says that's the world to come. They have no share in the world to come. Rabbi Lezer Omer, they are coming to the world to come, as it states. Isfuli chasidai korte brit away zevach. Romani mekayim asher nishpati bi'api. I took an oath in my anger, but I recanted. No, this verse that says they'll gather in my pious ones, that was not about the generation of the wilderness, but rather it was about the future generations after David HaMelech. This is the righteous in every generation. This refers to Elchananya, Mishal Hazariah, Shemasra, Atzmal, Kivshan Aish. So this refers to the Chananya, Mishal, and Azariah who were ready to give up their lives. And so, therefore, Alei Zevach, Elu Rabbi Akiva Chaver, Shemasra, Atzmal, Shlita Devei Torah. And that refers to the psalm, this verse. They went up as an offering. That refers to Rabbi Akiva and his colleagues, that they gave themselves to be slaughtered for the words of Torah. Who is this idea who attributes this verse to Rabbi Akiva? This is Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha. The Rashi says elsewhere that Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha is actually, that Karcha, the bald one, is a reference to Rabbi Akiva. So Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha is actually the son of Rabbi Akiva, and that's why he's maybe that's why he's applying this verse to Rabbi Akiva. So the Gemara in Chagiga also says this is the source that we can annul a vow. That even though since God can annul His own vow, so we can also annul a vow. That this generation of the wilderness will get a share in the world to come. Since Hashem Yeshuvun, that was V'duye Hashem Yeshuvun, and they will come to Zion in joy. V'duye Hashem, the ones who were redeemed by God will return. When did we just say this verse? When was the last time we said this verse? V'duye Hashem Yeshuvun Uvo Tzion Barina. Very good. We said it in the Mishabech for the Shvuyim. We said it this morning. Amar Rabbi Baruch Hanan Rabbi Yochanan. Shav ke Rabbi Akiva chasudu say. So here Rabbi Akiva says the generation of the wilderness has no share in the world to come. He's abandoned his piety. Because normally Rabbi Akiva was the one who was the Mezakes Israel. He said that the Jewish people had merit. But now he says the generation of the wilderness has no share in the world to come. Because we could have cited the same verse and said they have a share. Haloch v'karasa v'asnei Yerushalayim Laimor zacharti l'chasin urayach avas kol l'asayach lechtech acharav minbar be'eretz lo zerua. This is what we say in the Musaf of Rosh Hashanah. Go out and call out in the ears of Jerusalem, saying, I remembered for you the kindness of your youth, the love of a bride, going after me in the wilderness, in the land that was not sown. If other people come using the merits of the generation of the wilderness that they followed after God in the land that was not sown, for sure they should have a share in the world to come. So Rabbi Akiva is normally pious, but in this case he was especially strict. And that's Rabbi Baruch Hanan's will in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, but they were just saying, we don't know why Rabbi Akiva was acting this manner. The Gemara doesn't, it's not a question that you have to paskin because, we'll know one day where's the share. Aseres HaShavatim, the 10 tribes, Einen Asidin Lochzor. 10 tribes who Sanhedrin exiled, and prior to the destruction of the first temple during the time of Isaiah, aside from Judah and Benjamin, they're never going to come back. They were all sent to another land. Just like a day goes and it's gone. They go out and they don't come back. Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Elazar says, no, like today, just like today, it starts off in the morning and it's dark and it's not light. Just like the 10 tribes is dark, so in the future it will be illuminated for them. Rabbi Eliezer was a colleague of Rabbi Akiva. Yeah, now all the Tanaim were in the land of Israel. All the Tanaim in the Mishnah were in the land of Israel. None of them were.
Because he consistently is having.
Yeah, with Rabbi Akiva in this chapter. Usually Rabbi Akiva is the optimist. The 10 tribes do not have a share in the world to come, as it states, God will scatter them on the land with anger. That's this world. That's the world to come. If their actions are bad, like this day that they were exiled, then they won't come back. But if they're good, they'll come back. Rabbi says, Rabbi says they will come to the world to come, as it states. The explicit verse in Isaiah, on that day they will blast the shofar. They'll all be gathered. All those who are lost in the land of Assyria. And indeed, Amar Rabbi Baruch Hanan, Rabbi Yochanan, Shav ke Rabbi Akiva chasudu say, Rabbi Akiva abandoned his piety. Because it states, Haloch v'karasa sadvar ma'ela tzafona v'amarta shuva mishuva Yisrael nu Hashem v'lo apio pa'anai b'chem ki chasid ani nu Hashem lo Lo ator lo am. It says, go out and call these words to the north and say, come back. Says God. It's from Jeremiah chapter 3. We do read this, I believe. You could check this, but I believe that it's the Haftorah as part of the first of the 3 weeks. You could check it out, but that's what I think. I could be wrong. In this chapter, the prophet Jeremiah is calling the tribes the Shuva Yisrael. He says Shuva Mishuva Yisrael. So it implies that they will have a return. My Chasidu say, what is this piety of Rabbi Akiva that Rabbi Yochanan is referring to? Where is Rabbi Akiva, typically speaking, pious? The Tanya, or kind. The Tanya, Tane b'nei Rishei Yisrael, the children of the wicked ones. Ein bain lo amabah. If there is a wicked person and he is a child, that child will not come into the world to come. As it states, Ki hinei hayom ba bo'er ketanur, the day will come, will be burning like an oven. V'hayu kol zaydim, kol osei Rishah, all those who are wicked, will be like kash, will be like straw, v'lihatotam, and they'll be burnt. Hayom haba amar Hashem tzvakot asher lo ya'azov lahem shorosh v'anaf. They won't leave behind any trace. Shorosh bo hamazev anaf lo hamaba. They want to leave behind a root in this world or a branch in the world to come. That's Rabbi Gamliel. So the ketanim of the Rishayim, the children of the wicked ones, will have no share in the world to come. Rabbi Kiva Omer, by Memol Amabah, they will come to the world to come. As it states, Shenemar Shomer Psaim Hashem, God watches over the fools. Shekin Korchem Mekorche Yamu Yanuka Pasya. But in some languages, a Yanuka, a child, is called a Pasya. So God will watch over them, will bring them back. Omer, and it says with respect to the dream of Nebuchadnezzar, on the punishment that was expected of him, go do Ilana, the Chabloi, Baram Ikar Sharshay Ba'ar Shavuka. It says in Daniel, cut down the tree and destroy it, but the main root in the land leave whole. And so therefore, even though they're wicked, who have no share in the world to come, nevertheless their roots, which is their children, will remain whole and will come to the world to come. So what does it mean? They will not have a root or a branch. That the wicked ones themselves in the world to come will not have the reward for any mitzvah or even the remnants of a mitzvah, but rather they'll get paid all their reward in this world, so they will have no share in the world to come. The shorish of the Rishayim, that they won't have a share, that means they won't have their soul. Va'anaf means they're a guf. Their bodies will disintegrate. But the children, Kitane b'nei Rishei Ovdei Kochavim, but the children of the b'nei Rishei Ovdei Kochavim, but the children of those who worship idolatry, according to everyone, have no share in the world to come. Rabbi Gamliel, Navkole, Mivitabed called Zechar. He learns this out, that the young children meaning to say, the children of the wicked ones can have a share, but the young children won't. He learns it out from Tabed Kol Zachar. You have to destroy all the males. So now we get into this question. We won't be able to finish it, but we'll get it started today. Itmar Kata Me'imasai Bawa Olam Haba. Meaning to say, at what age does a child merit to have a share in the world to come, and also in the resurrection of the dead? We'll have several opinions. Rabbi Chiya, Rabbi Shaman, Bar Rabbi Chad Amar Mishash Noah. Second, he's born. Chad Amar Mishash Sipar. The moment he can talk. Ma'an Amar Mishash Noah. The one who says from the moment that he's born, Shenemar Yavov Yagidu Tzikaso Ba'am Noad Kiasa. The moment he's born, talk about his righteousness. Ma'an Amar Mishash Sipar. T'chsev Zera Yavdenu. Yisupar Hashem Lador. Yisupar means to say that the moment he could speak, he has a share. In Maravina Amar Mishash and Nizra. No, from the moment that the seed is placed into the womb and it's created, the moment of conception. Zera Yavdenu. Rav Nachman Amar Mishash and Nimo. From the moment he's circumcised, he does his first mitzvah. Ani Vigovea Minor Nasati Imchafuna. So one more position. Tana Misham Rabbi Meir, he said, Mishashi Omer Amen. From the moment he could say Amen. That's why you have to teach the children to be able to say Amen. Shenemar Pisku Sharm V'Avogo Itzadik Shomer Amunim. Shomer Amen. The moment you say Amen, he has a share in the world to come. And what is Amen? Amar Rabbi Chanina, Kel Melech Ne'eman. It means the God of the trustworthy king, the God who is a trustworthy king. So once the child says Amen, he's able to have a share in the world to come. That's why you have to teach a child to say Amen. And he has a share in the world to come at that moment. Okay, we'll stop here. It's beautiful daf. God willing, pick this up tomorrow or tonight.